put into pass. But has that happened yet? I mean, it's based on how you guys have practiced through a couple of days. Have you guys been able to kind of put that behind you, and how have practice has been this far?
Oh yeah, that game is behind us right now. We've been focusing, just on getting better as a team. So we put that game to rest.
How have the practices been thus far?
Pretty good. We had 2 practices last week. They were pretty good. Like we were flying around, good speed, and then hopefully we have another good practice today.
This time last year, obviously, didn't be any motivation what you were playing for. Does that, for guys that are back, remember the difference between last year and this year? You have to conjure up something to kind of have that same desire to play.
No, I don't think so. I think everybody on the team, we want to win. We want to send our seniors out, with a win. So we're all working hard, buying into the game, regardless of it not being in the playoffs.
How much or if any of this motivation is about 2019, and kind of starting off, because you guys, there's going to be a lot of expectations for you guys next year too.
Yeah, we looking at this kind of like the first game, going into the next season, starting our stride for the 2019 season.
Were you a guy that watched bowl games growing up?
I watched a couple. When I was really young, I really didn't watch football like that, to be honest. Yeah.
So, I mean, does the Sugar Bowl mean anything to you as a guy that like Georgia played Hawaii? Did you ever watch that game? Do you remember it?
No, I don't. I mean,
is there a difference for you between the Sugar Bowl and playing, like, say, the Liberty Bowl or the Belk Bowl, or you know what I'm saying?
Not really. For me, it's just we're playing Texas, our opponent, and I approach it the same way every game.
Previously in this practice or time for young players step up and improve in these moments. Did you kind of feel that way last year?
Yeah, I did. Around this time, the first couple of practices, we give the young guys, a lot more reps to get some work in. So you can see a lot of the young guys, getting an opportunity to get better.
And it might have been different last year, obviously, preparing for the playoff. But did you get any reps last year at left tackle, sort of in preparation for this year?
Yeah, I did last year. I worked with some left tackle in practices. They took Isaiah out. We're on the first team a couple times, just to work in.
How much did that experience help once you get to the spring, knowing what a totally, like you've worked with those guys before?
It helped me a little bit because last year I played right tackle, for the whole year. The last time I played it was in the summer, so just getting a couple reps at it before spring ball started helped me transition.
What's your first impressions of Clay Webb? Practiced with you guys a couple of times.
Clay Webb, he's doing really good. He surprised me. He's really fast, quick twitch. And this will be his first day of pass because the first 2 days you only have helmet, so we'll see what he does today.
Which a lot of people are already on upset alert about Texas because they say Georgia's going to be disappointed about getting left out of the college football playoff and everything. What are the chances that have the opposite effect, that you guys go into this with kind of a chip on your shoulder to show the nation that one of the best 4 teams didn't get chosen?
I mean, like I said, we approach every game the same. They're our opponent, so we're going to come. We're going to be ready. We're not going to sleep on any team that we play, so we're going to be ready.
What are the motivational points? I know Scott Sinclair works really hard at finding things to drill down on to get you guys motivated about. What are those for this game?
Well, the first one is just sending our seniors out with the win. They work so hard and done so much for this program, so we want to do our best to give them a win. And then, like I said earlier, just starting our stride for the 2019 season.
What has Lamont talked about with this last game?
Lamont, he just told us that he's gonna miss playing with us and everything. So, like as an O-line unit, we just trying to do our best to send him out the right way.
What are some things that he's personally taught you on the line?
Well, Lamont, what he's taught me is a lot of technical things when it comes to looking at defenses and understanding like coverages and seeing who's blitzing, things like that. That's what he's taught me when he's been here.
Andrew, can you tell me what you've seen from Clay Webb here in practice? I know he's only been out there for a couple days.
The first 2 days, Clay, he's been doing really well. He's been working hard. Today will be the first time he's in pass, so we'll see what he does today.
And just overall, whether it be those guys just coming in, whether it be younger guys who haven't played very much, how does this bowl practice serve as a time for these guys to grow and develop, maybe just not even thinking about the Sugar Bowl?
It's just like an early spring practice. A lot of young guys can get reps. For me last year, I played some left tackle around this time, just getting ready for the spring. So it's a great opportunity for young guys.
Andrew, you've gotten some postseason honors. What does those mean to you?
They mean a lot to me, but I still think I have a lot of work to do. A lot of things to get better at.
With all this stuff that's going on right now, with early signing and some juniors considering their future and some choices they face, what kind of effect does that have on the team as you guys return to practice?
I don't think it has that much of an effect. I just think that we're all focused on getting better right now, and then focus on getting ready for Texas.
How big was the Sugar Bowl when you were growing up? How big did you think it was? And now that there's a playoff, how big is it?
When I was young, I didn't really know that much about it. I didn't watch football that much when I was really young, but of course now I know a lot about it, and it's a big game.
You know anything about Texas so far? Had a chance to look at them at all?
I looked at a little bit of film. I know their front seven is really fast and athletic, so we're going to be ready.
Remind you of anybody you played this year?
If I had to compare to somebody, I would say like just their DNs, kind of like Georgia Tech. They're long guys and they're pretty athletic, moving side to side. So we're gonna be ready.
Guys, how has the emotion been on this team? First couple practices back, you feel like everybody's moving maybe like they were a year ago, or does it feel different than a year ago?
I feel like we had the whole team has had a great attitude coming to practice. The first two practices have been pretty fast, and guys have been flying around, so I think we're doing pretty good.
How do you guys approach it moving forward as you know it's not where you want it to be? Is it tough?
No, it's not tough because, like I said earlier, we want to send our seniors out with a win. So Texas is our opponent, so we're getting ready for them like any other game.
Does it help that it's a big name and a Texas opponent that you guys can? It's not somebody you never heard of that you have to go play.
Yeah, it does help. They're a great team, so we're going to be prepared to win.
I know it's on the other side of the ball, but do you feel the loss of Mel Tucker out there, that voice?
I haven't really noticed it so far, but I'm sure we'll have somebody come in, do what they need to do. They'll call the plays like how we need it, and I think we'll be okay.
Kirby more involved for the first couple of practices?
I haven't really noticed. I'm on the offensive side, so I haven't really, seen much, but he probably is more involved.
After you talked about this game being big for the seniors, send them out in the right way, well, kind of another side of that, you'll kind of look at this as a jumping off point for next fall. And so why you think that would be the case?
Because we know that we have a pretty young team, so a lot of guys will be coming back, and this is like our first game going into the 2019 season.
What role do you play in the recruiting? Do the coaches come to you, ask for you to contact some linemen or things like that?
Not really. What I do at recruiting, sometimes we host guys, and then the big thing we do is we'll come to the dinners, and then I'll talk to the parents, and they'll ask me about my experiences and things like that.
And give us a sample of your answers.
Well, I would say, they'll ask me why I came, and then I'll say because of the business program, I want to be a finance major, and then I'll say because of the opportunity to play. If you come here and you're good enough to play, they'll put you in, and then because of Coach Pittman, the offensive line coach.
What kind of influence has he had on you?
Great influence. He's almost like a second dad, and I think that's what makes him such a great coach because it's like the relationship that we have with him. It's easy to play for him because you can tell he really cares for us.
And how would you describe the job he's done this year with all the juggling of the injuries?
It's amazing. I don't know how he did it. We had so many guys down, but that just gives a lot of credit to him, his coaching ability, and then the ability of the O-line to be able to have that much things happen and still be a pretty good O-line.
And following up on that, the players, handling that situation. What's your description of how you guys dealt with it?
I think we just have a great bond. We all know that how we practice is that the next guy up has to be ready. So I think, if somebody goes down, I think the next guy will be ready, and that's just how we approach it every day.
What do you think of when you think of the Sugar Bowl? Any memories of